Don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical. Don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical.
Sip H, that super bass got boom, boom. Got me dead live, I'm Kurt Cobain, boom, boom. Sip H, that super bass got boom, boom. Got me dead live, I'm Kurt Cobain, boom, boom. Sip H, that
I'm
Sip H, that super bass got boom, boom. Got me dead live, I'm Kurt Cobain, boom, boom. Sip H, that super bass got boom, boom. Got me dead live, I'm Kurt Cobain, boom, boom. Sip H, that
Hello and welcome. My name is Bella Jimenez, first time around the mic, and welcome to Cousins Gym, where we follow our Tufts Jumbos facing Hamilton College this afternoon. With me I have, say your name. This is Jordan Burke, and he is the well-averse volleyball connoisseur who will be helping me along my first time around the mic.
I don't know if I'd call myself a connoisseur,
I think
but
I would.
I know my fair bit of volleyball. We got a very exciting matchup here today. The Jumbos played a very solid game yesterday against Middlebury. And, I'd call them the favorites coming into today, seeing as how Middlebury swept Hamilton in consecutive sets when they faced off. But, you never really know. I mean, this is a team that has played a little streaky. They haven't looked 100% to form. But, if they played the way that they played yesterday, where the defense was shining beyond all belief. Any ball that came near anyone on the back line was just picked up. And if the Jumbos are able to play like that, I think we'll be in for a very good game of volleyball here today. Bella, as a softball player, you have had the opportunity to, have a more personal connection with some of these players. You want to speak to how they feel about the team, how they feel about the sport in general?
Yeah, well, I've done my fair share of weightlifting with them in the varsity weight room, and I've lived with quite a few of them, right next door actually, precisely 5 yards. So I can tell you one little thing about the junior class and what I know about volleyball is that they're going to come and bring it bring everything they got, give their best, and I don't see how they won't keep this momentum going from yesterday. Very strong group of girls who are dedicated and love the sport.
Yeah, I mean, as we see them taking hitting lines right now, I mean, everyone is just playing at peak form. I mean, it is hitting lines. There's no block, you know. They are going to look a little bit better. I know our director, Henry Stahl, is a firm believer that if you excel in hitting lines, then you're in for a rough game of volleyball. But I don't know. I beg to differ. Back in high school, my high school team, we excelled at hitting lines, and we also won a state championship. So, you know, maybe this is just saying that this is a group of girls that has the potential to go all the way. I mean, they have been chasing that NESCAC title. They have been performing well in the NCAA tournament, but they're not quite there to win the NESCAC yet. They've been struggling in conference. They've historically struggled in conference. And, you know, 2019, the last time that they won the NESCAC championship, yet they've consistently gone farther in the postseason in that NCAA tournament than
always
the other
giving
teams.
a bid. I mean, there's something about Tufts sports in general is that they know that we're a top competitor no matter what, and that we're going to bring our all. And I think regardless of if winning the game, we're going to make it. So we're about to actually start this matchup. They're about to get on the lines and introduce themselves. So I'll give you a little bit of a rundown as things go.
Well, we do have the anthem first, so
Yes.
quick break while that plays, and then we'll come back.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cousins Gymnasium on the campus of Tufts University.
Welcome back. As we get ready to get underway here, just interesting things to bring up. The Jumbos, after yesterday's win, extending to 7-3. Hamilton playing at 6-4. So the NESCAC is a tight race. Both teams, I believe, are now, Hamilton 1-2 in the conference, while the Jumbos, with yesterday's win, go to, I believe, 2-2, if not 3-1. 2-1, my bad. Got a wrong count on the games here. Lineups being announced. We expect the Jumbos to come out with the usual lineup that they've been running their 6-2 offense with Maddie Yu and Zoe Gregory as setters. And in terms of Middlebury's lineup, not a whole lot to speculate on. They're a very streaky team with feast or famine type of play. Either, you know, the blocks and the kills are coming in consistently and they're playing at a higher caliber, or they're, you know, little less active. The sets aren't there. Sometimes they're off. They're not being as aggressive as they would like to be, and the block is just not able to be closed. And if you're not able to secure these defensive plays as well as just having consistent sets, it's going to be a little bit difficult for your team to put points on the board.
Yeah, I totally agree, Jordan. So as the lineups are being announced, I think we have Patty Serta starting for the Middlebury, or the Hamilton, what is it? Alexander Hamilton is their mascot, am I right?
Yeah, but we recently learned that they're the Continentals.
The Continentals. So we got Patty Serta, and we also got Summer McClittick and Melissa Morielli, Cece Nori, Riley Bergeron, and Kate Carmen, and Morley McLaughlin. giving a little bit of an excitement, little rendezvous around the court. Tufts Jumbos. We got Riley Farragher. We got Maddie Yu. We got Stephanie Lee. We got Christine Audette, Cora Cunningham, and I think it is Janelle Yarwood.
Yep.
So similar lineup as yesterday. Strong group of girls. I don't see why their coach would change anything up to start the game, especially with how well they did yesterday.
Well, I mean, they do have 3 solid right side hitting options in Riley Farragher, Maya Lightfoot, and Tori Golden. All 3 saw court time yesterday. So you could really put any one of them here to start off, but they like the connection between Maddie Yu and Riley Farragher a bit better, and that's what they're going to roll with.
Fun fact, Maddie Yu and Riley Farragher were actually roommates freshman year. I live right next door to them, so it's not a coincidence that their chemistry still remains.
Well, that's fun. Coming in for Hamilton, starting off, you were correct. Patty Serta going to start off in the 1 spot, followed by Melissa Morelli, Kiara Morley-McLaughlin. Am I seeing 16? Is that Kate Carmen?
16 is Kate Carmen, yes.
McClintic, and I don't know who's back in the middle. I think that's 14, 15? Not 100%
Cece
sure.
Nori, I believe. If it's 14 or 15. Oh, what a beautiful block. Up again. Oh, little tap. A lot of communication going on, back and forth. Point Tufts.
That's going to go down as a kill for Christine Audette, and she's going to start off serving for the Jumbos as well. Went on some huge runs yesterday. Really like to see what she did there, going up, just trying to find the tops of hands, using the block to her advantage, hitting it off of whatever hand is turned away from the court, and is able to put the Jumbos on top with the first point of the game.
Oh, and that slipped right behind Christine Audette's fingers. However, I don't believe that we can't come back from it. 1-1.
That's just a quick tempo specialty play there, where you have the middle coming off to the right side running a slide, and you have the outside hitter going up for a 2-ball in the middle. Very well executed there by Hamilton.
Beautiful set by Maddie. Could not quite finish. Some 2 long points these have been.
Yeah, long
that
points
is a shot.
Quickly put to an end by Janelle Yarwood. I mean, we saw it yesterday. Her line shot these past 2 days has been very on point, so much force, and when you're not putting up a block there, she's just going to get that ball down. Nothing you can do there if you're a Hamilton back line, but try to get a hand on it and hope it goes up.
Beautiful set by Maddie with Cora with the finish. Kill for Cora.
Now the Jumbos are working at a pace that they want to be working at. I mean, the offense is just running exactly how they want it to. They're getting solid passes and even better sets. Hate to see it counteracted by a service misplay there. We know Stephanie Lee likes to go for those short serves, but just not able to come up with it there.
Not falling in her favor now. 3-2. Tufts up by 1. Failed to fall over the net. However, as Jordan mentioned, she likes to play the softer game when it comes to serving. Beautiful dig by Christine Audette. A lot of good communication going over. Point Hamilton.
Ball going off at the top of the block there. Subbing in for Hamilton was Deirdre Corrigan. She's a interesting server. She's a very aggressive, very hard serve, but it's very hit or miss. I mean, she has 13 service aces and 12 service errors on the season, but the Jumbos seeming to not struggle with it too much here. Confusion here from the refs. The Jumbos are saying that they did not touch that ball, that it just went off the top of the net and out. However, Hamilton arguing that it hit the block and then went out of bounds, and therefore would be their point, putting them up 4-3.
See, yeah, I agree. However, I do think it was touched by Riley Farragher's hands, and it seems the point has gone to Hamilton. Seems like they agree so.
Sometimes in volleyball you can get away with the football move and try and fake out the officials.
Yeah, it doesn't always work. Point Tufts.
Trying to pick off Janelle Yarwood on the service. She usually does not end up playing her own back row, but she is in the front row now, so she will pull back for serve receive. And if you know that she's one of the weaker passing points for the Jumbos, it's a good idea to try and target her on the serves, especially when you have one of your better servers at the line.
Yeah, just subbed in for Riley was Tori Golden. She did amazing yesterday. Great blocks, great kills, super high momentum. And it also looks like Zoe Gregory has subbed in for Maddie. Maddie Yu.
A lot of miscommunication there. You had Janelle pulling into the middle, trying to run a stack combo play, but confusion there as Gregory puts the ball to the outside. Stephanie Lee does manage to come over and get the cover, put the ball over the net. I mean, her defense has been great throughout her career here, but
something about that.
It's just too close to the net.
Yeah. Seems like the momentum from Tufts is kind of waning in a sense. Hamilton is picking up on their cues and really executing the plays, knowing that they're the team right now that's communicating the best, and you can see it in the Tufts Jumbos faces.
And this is one of the small problems that you have with having a freshman come in at setter. You know, you're used to a senior captain who was very close to, if not getting the all-time Jumbo volleyball assist record in Ariel Zedrick last year, now being replaced by Zoe Gregory. And as much as these girls have played 10 games this season and they practice consistently, sometimes that miscommunications and the comfort level isn't always there.
It's all about trust and communication. You gotta know that you gotta mold these younger ones into being what you strive to be, which is excellence. Right now it's even 6-6. And that was a shot by Riley Bergeron. She really got up there, kept her momentum going up, and slipped under.
Bergeron is one of the better hitters for this Hamilton lineup. She has 77 kills on the season coming into today. Does have 45 errors, but when you're not going to give a two-person block like what happened right there, she's just going to find the hole and put the ball down with force.
Yeah. And Tori just went, or Tori Gold, Tori Golden, sorry. I have a nickname for her that's other than that, so I'm just trying to get used to getting by the official names, but Tori Golden just missed that last 2 points ago. Dump over, it was a little wide.
Yeah, and an ace coming in there from McClintock, going to put Hamilton up by 3. The Jumbos struggling, trying to come back in. They're not even taking swings. The sets are there, but they're just scared of the block. They're scared they're not going to get it over, and they stopped playing aggressive. They started tipping the ball.
Jumping short, yeah. Tufts falling behind by 4, 6-10. Hamilton's really getting the groove going. Over and point Tufts.
Now, all of these Hamilton servers have very strong, powerful float serves, but there is a small problem that comes with that. I mean, you think about in baseball, the goal is to get in the center of the ball, try and drive a ball to the outfield grass. But in volleyball, you need to get the ball down. You need to be on top of it. You don't want to give it so much force. And it's been a problem for both teams here. I mean, we just saw,
look at that last point.
Yeah, Cora Cunningham putting it right out the back line. It was closer, but still.
Yeah, just missed.
It's not what you want to see, especially when your team's down by 4. Can't be giving up points that aren't earned.
And a set.
Point going over to Tufts there on the net call. Yeah, that's one of those interesting situations where you have an overpass coming over. Grace Legree trying to go up and just put the ball right back down, but a block did manage to get up there. Hamilton Middles have been playing a solid block up at the net, but as solid as it is, when you have an overpass, you're just trying to save whoever's behind you so that they don't take a really hard hit off. As we see yet another block coming in from Grace Legree. These overpasses are for her to feast on, and so long as Maddie Yu is giving consistent serves, Jumbos are never out of this game.
They're back in it. Down by 2. 9-11 Hamilton. Little one-handed chopper over. Amazing effort by Maddie Yu. However, fell short, went and dove, missed off her fingertips.
Yeah, that's one of the interesting things that you do get out of having a front row setter is she can jump up and just put the ball over. Exactly what Morelli does there. And if you're the Jumbos, you're used to practicing against yourselves where you're running a 6-2. You're not used to there being that setter having the availability, you know, play cheeky and just try and throw the ball over. And Hamilton exploiting that as monster slide move from Grace Legree. Love to see those tempo plays. You never see it coming. I mean, you can do your best to try and track her, but she just got all the way out there to the right side. The block wasn't closed, and she finds the seam between it and just puts the ball through.
Got to find that open court. Looks like they did. Seems like Tufts is making their way back, down by 2. And that was a beautiful little tap over the net. Perfectly executed, faked out our Riley Farragher, thinking that she was going to spike it hard. No.
Yeah, that tip move there is just, it's a smart play. I mean, you know the block's there. They definitely have the size advantage on you between Legree and Farragher out on the right side. So you're trying to do whatever you can, especially when the block is close, to just get the ball over. So the tip has been working in their favor. Sometimes you don't even need to hit the ball that hard to just win points.
Literally. Right. And that was a shot, but recovered by Maddie Yu. Oh. Some confusion going on by Hamilton. That ball,
very lucky point there for the Jumbos.
Ball just almost passed over.
Yeah, Maddie Yu dug up that spike there. She got the ball up, but because the setter takes that, you're out of system. Stephanie Lee then has to come and get second contact. And she does, but you have this communication problem between both of your outside hitters in Yarwood and Audette. Neither one of them is in a position to swing either from the back or front row. You're just trying to get the ball over. Audette has the better angle, and she got very fortunate that it rolled over and just fell. Unfortunate for the Jumbos that they made it a 1-point game, and then service errors just continuing to be a problem for them.
I definitely think that in order to keep themselves in the game, and that was a lucky point as well.
No, that's all skill right there. Jumbo's going to take a timeout here, down 15
Stop
to 12.
that momentum.
But that's a very smart play there. As a setter, you always have the option to put the ball over on 2. It's a lot smarter to do it when you're in the front row because you can be more aggressive with it. You know, you can't just, like right there, we just saw the ball be pushed over slightly. But when you're in the front row, you have the ability to do a little bit more powerful of an idea. We call it a power tip. You go up and then you kind of just throw the ball over with, usually it's your inside hand as opposed to the one closer to the net. That way it's a little bit harder to read. It doesn't work all the time because sometimes you have a righty and the hand is, their left hand,
to work
so it's
in their
not going to work.
favor.
But right there, that's the smart play. You know that the middles are expecting a hit because you got such a good pass, so you freeze Cora Cunningham. She's not going to go back and fall out. The only real person there who has an opportunity to get a play when it's going to the middle of the court is going to be an outside hitter who's peeled back already in the event that the ball goes over, or if Stephanie Lee is cheating in, then she has the ability to pick that one up. In the case of the Jumbos, you had neither of those, so it's just a very smart play there from Morelli, using that second contact point to her advantage right now.
Set about to resume with Deirdre Corrigan, the beautiful serve. That was a beautiful
carry. There we go.
Beautiful set by Maddie Yu into Riley, and the perfect momentum to get it over the net, and difficulty blocking it by number 14.
I believe that's Cici Nuri.
It is. Seems like and it seems like there's a bit of communication going on between the refs and the scoreboard.
Yeah, this is probably just the Jumbos just did 2 subs, and you want to make sure that the table has everything right. That way the stats are reflected properly. Everyone gets all their kills. Everyone gets all their points. So if you need to take a minute for the scorecard to be updated, then you take that time.
Point Jumbos. Still, seems like we've broken that streak. 14-15, down by 1, Tufts Jumbos.
Yeah, timeout really working in their favor.
Stopping that.
They froze the Hamilton momentum, and they picked up their own. They have one of their better servers back here in Gregory. Hard float serve that's just coasting really well. Not exactly what you want to see there.
By Bergeron. Seems like she's really juking these girls out, these Tufts Jumbos, either with the soft tap over or giving the impression that she is going to be spiking the ball hard. Can't quite pick up on that.
Oh, there was one block. Really would have loved to have seen.
Another tap over by number 11, Summer McClintock.
You really would have loved to have seen Yarwood get a swing there. She only had one block, who was blocking line, and when you're off from that, when you're outside on the right side and you're taking a swing, you want to go hard cross court anyway. Very open shot, but the Jumbo's just not feeling themselves right now. 0 block. Lucky that just didn't go right down. My God.
Totally getting juked out on these lighter taps over. But Tori Golden with the bullet to the left side.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see. 2 solid swings there from the Jumbos. No more of this light roll shots and just tips over the block. It's not working out for them. The balls are getting picked back up, and when they're swinging, they're finding hands and they're finding open spots in the court. Love to see them go back to this aggressive offense.
Again, a beautiful, beautiful bullet by Riley Bergeron.
That was a 3-stack there. We're going to see a defensive substitution coming in for the Jumbos. Anna Nachmanoff going to come in and play the back row for Janelle Yarwood. But that 3-stack, very well executed. There were 2 blockers there from the Jumbos, but you have an outside hitter who's slightly off from where the block is all the time in the world to make an amazing hit, as Bergeron did.
Beautiful tap by Christine Audette over the net.
Yeah, we know that she has that in her toolbox. Last year when she was coming in and when she played, she did have a little bit of a dependency on the roll shot, but it's a great roll shot and great tips. She's able to see the block when she's up in the air, and she just pushes it over.
Beautiful execution. Seems like both sides are playing the softer game today and executing it well. Again, a little confusion going on the court. Seems like the refs are trying to decipher the substitution roles.
Yeah, I think this was confusion because on the Jumbo side, you have Grace Legree coming back in, which means the libero's out, and libero tracking is a completely separate job from substitutions. It's actually 2 completely different sheets of paper, and you had a sub happening on the Hamilton side. Hannah Sillo came in, and she delivered some good serves, but
overall, there's just
you don't
a lot
want
to
keep her in
manage.
for the defense when your defense has been playing very well as is. Leave the people in that are working. Putting McClintock back in order to make some solid passes, just working well for Hamilton right now.
Seems to be going in their favor. Tufts still down by 2, 18-16 Hamilton. Oh, and that was some serious miscommunication gone on by Hamilton. A pass set forth and was not detected in her eyes.
Yeah, the Jumbos are coming back here. I mean, they're down by 1, which is pretty good considering that at a point they were down by 5. Still not playing up to their caliber, though. So this is where you want to see the Jumbos start to come alive, take this timeout to their advantage, as the Hamilton bench looks like they're getting ready for a team photo. I don't know.
Indeed, it does.
I mean,
almost like a lecture.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I mean, and if you are, Hamilton's coach, Kristen Baker, that is what you're looking for. She's, I mean, maybe I'm overstepping here, but she was a former D1 coach. She spent 5 years now with the Hamilton girls volleyball team as their head coach. D1 to D3, maybe you're expecting a certain level of, excellence out of the group of girls, and right there was just nothing less than a really sloppy play. You have a libero who technically should have picked up that ball. It wasn't a great pass off of the serve, but you also had a setter who didn't call for help. That lack of communication ultimately puts the Jumbos right back into this game, and it's not what you want to see if you're Hamilton. You've been controlling the pace of the game. You've been taking the better swings. You've been playing the better defense. You're minimizing your own errors, and you're winning this set right now because of it. So when you see such simple, basic mistakes start to creep in, especially as you're in the later points, I like the timeout. just sit back, talk about it, and remind your team that they're playing how they should be playing. They're playing well, they're playing better, and they just need to get right back to that form. Shake off the last point and pick it up from here.
Yeah, and it's ultimately a game of numbers. You're trying to first to get to 25 wins, so they can't let the little mistakes define them. They got to keep their momentum going and try to knock down those mistakes before they even happen. Anticipate it. The game has resumed, and they are battling back and forth, back and forth.
There's been some great defense in this point already. I mean, just wow.
Kind of reminds me of the first 2 points. This long, persistent. Oh wow! And a beautiful, beautiful dig by Riley Bergeron.
Okay. Riley Bergeron, incredible in that set, getting in that point, getting the ball up off of the block, but also her over the bench play. I mean, she really
over the bench play and that diving dig that she made to keep the ball alive and then knock it over.
Yeah, played fantastic in that last point, and Hamilton taking advantage. You had a middle serving, so there's no libero on, and you can take advantage of that weaker defense. Exactly what they did.
And Tori Golden comes in with the bullet strike.
Yeah, I think Hamilton's going to be really happy to see her get subbed out right now. I mean, she was just there's no other way to put it. She's been swinging very well here. She's been swinging arguably the best out of all of the jumbos. They're not getting a big enough block on her. They're barely getting one person up to block. And when you give her so much court, she will find a way to put the ball down. And now we're tied here at 19, again on a simple error. You see Morelli trying to make a bump set, not 100% sure why, seeing as how the ball was high enough that she totally could have gotten her hands up. And when you're not prepared for that, I mean, I don't know how often Hamilton likes to run their setters out of system and practice those bump sets. It's not, the easiest thing to practice and try and run. So when it comes up in a game, you just kind of hope and pray that you can get the ball up in a hittable position for your outside hitter. That's your most dependable hitter. The ball gets thrown there a lot more often than others. You just hope you can make a play. But when you're,
really smart move by Riley Farragher for letting that ball drop out of bounds.
Oh yeah, and the defense 100%
It was almost on that
You
line too. It was barely out, but I think that the entire momentum shift in that point for Hamilton started from the beginning. It was a lack of communication by libero Cici Nori. She went for a ball and bumped her back. So it all starts with that. And then that pass deflected onto the other. Couldn't finish.
And now the Jumbos are in a position to take back the lead in the later points of the game.
Maddie Yu with the serve. And a beautiful block by Riley Farragher.
That's a combination of a small Hamilton mistake and a great Jumbo plan. They get the block all the way over to take away the line shot, and when the set is pushed beyond the pin, you have every possibility there to just get four hands up and keep the ball on that side of the net. Absolute house coming in from Riley Farragher.
And a tip over, and a beautiful dive by Maddie Yu to save it. Again, another block. Point Jumbos. Little too much sauce on that one.
Yeah, and that's why you like Riley Farragher out there on the right side. She is such an elite blocker. She gets touches on everything, and just keeping those outside hitters unavailable is working so well in her favor. And the fact that Maddie Yu is having a great weekend defensively, also working wonders for the Jumbos.
Again, that dynamic duo. Beautiful set. Miscommunication on that, tip the net. Point Hamilton.
Jumbo's still up by one, though. They did manage to pull themselves out from a deficit, put themselves back into this one. Miscommunication there. I mean, it is a little awkward when you're trying to set a quick tempo ball to the middle as a setter and you're way off the net. It's an awkward set, an awkward move, and the middle's trying to adjust themselves to go along with it.
Beautiful block by Hamilton. Point Tufts just outside the bounds.
Yeah, you see during the middle of the play there, and you now see it where Melissa Morelli's trying to make an argument that should have been Hamilton's point. When a ball is coming over, the setter does have priority. If they make the second contact, then it is fully theirs. but that ball was well on the Jumbo side of the net. Morelli reached over and tried to pull that one back, but once it's on the Jumbo side, it's no longer a reach over from anyone on the Jumbo's front line.
That would be a violation, right, Jordan?
Exactly. That would have been a point over to Hamilton, but once it's already on our side, it's no longer a reach over. That's Morelli trying to save something and Legree trying to put it right back down.
Seems like she really does know what she's talking about, coming from D1 to D3, trying to mold the excellence that came. That is a beautiful shot by Janelle Yarwood.
Yeah, just missing
really hard
the
to hit
line,
those
though.
lines.
Yeah, remember, if it's on the line, it's a point, it's in. If it's off the line, it's not. If any part of the ball clips it, it's in. Just not able to get
Perfect.
enough there. And Hamilton's challenging her. They know that she has the line shot, and they're constantly challenging her to see if she will take it.
They've done their homework, and they do know that a couple times out of 5, she will get it.
Now they tried to make the adjustment. She has the line shot. She's been hitting it well. You got lucky that she just barely missed, so they closed the block there. And what does that do? It opens up the cross shot, and Janelle Yarwood just fantastic swing.
Oh. Riley with Farragher with the spike, hitting the net, hitting the Hamilton side of the floor.
I don't know what just happened there from Hamilton's defense. That was off the top of the net. You knew exactly where it was going, and everyone just freezes. And now the Jumbos are in prime position to win set number 1.
1 point away. However, could not take this point away. That was a beautiful, beautiful spike by number 13.
I think that was 16. Kate Carmen subbing out now, trying to get a better server back there. But it was just a beautiful swing. Middle of the court, right in what we call the donut hole, and worked really well there for Hamilton. They're trying to keep this one going, force extra points.
Hamilton down by 2. Point Tufts. A little too much sauce on that. Match 1, or set 1.
Yeah, I mean, I said it earlier where Corrigan comes in for serves, and she just puts a little too much on it, and it goes deep, and Jumbos take 1. They're up 1 set here.
So now that the end of the first set has come, we have had the opportunity to catch up with some of our fellow Tufts Jumbos after yesterday's game, their home opener actually. So we were wondering if you would please be so kind and take a look.
Superlatives of your teammates. Tell me who best fits in these descriptions.
Okay. This is a hard one. Riley.
Tori G.
Me.
Tori.
Grace.
Grace. Me. Obviously.
Someone just listen to music.
Are they
Cora.
in the room with
Cora. Maddie. Alina. I never heard her music.
Cora. Oh no, Alina. Sorry.
Jess. Probably Jess. Probably Jess also. I don't like country.
Tori.
Probably
Riley.
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 Me. Brett. Ooh, I'd say Tori for this one too. Anna.
Riley.
Tori, probably. Anna.
Tori.
Riley.
Best strip.
Honestly, Gilly. She looks great all the time. So, Gilly.
Maddie. Maddie, you.
Cora. Maddie.
Grace.
Maya.
I feel like you were pressured to say that.
No, I'm big sweaty over here.
That's
Hello and welcome back to Cousins Gym, where we are going into set 2 of the Tufts volleyball game versus Hamilton, where Tufts took set 1 and now have to keep this momentum going. we hope you enjoyed the clip that you just watched. If you have any more interest in seeing other footage that we have similar, follow Tufts JumboCast on Instagram to get more content like this.
Yeah, that is at JumboCast on Instagram. We're very proud of some of the new video stuff that we've been getting along this year, and we'd love to get feedback as to, you know, what you guys, the fans at home, might want to see from your favorite Jumbo athletics. So, end of that first set, I mean, couldn't have been closer. 25-22, like, that's a very competitive set there. Jumbo's just getting the momentum swinging in their favor. In the latter points, Hamilton dominating might be a stretch, but they were playing the better brand of volleyball up until around that 20-point mark, and then the Jumbos just came alive, and everything started working in their favor. I mean, you see in the stats, everything very well distributed. 3 kills, 2-2, 1-2. No real star of the first set. They just played a team game of volleyball.
And the set has begun. Point Hamilton with a beautiful spike over the net.
Yeah, they caught the block lacking there. It was just slow, so it went up. The block was coming up as the hit was coming over, and once it goes up like that, the ball is not going to just fall right to the ground. It's going to go up in the air and then kind of loft, and that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah, Kate Carmen really executed that one well. However, the point goes to Tufts on that last point. Now we are even 1-1.
Yeah, quick tempo play there, right to Grace Legree on that 3 ball, or 31 as I call it. 1 ball at the 3 spot on the net. Very well tempoed.
Beautiful serve by Christine Audette, however, cannot get down in time for the dig.
Yeah, it was just a better hit by Kate Carmen. I mean, the block's not there. And the block needs to be there. You need to have a closed block, especially against a hitter who has shown time and time again that she has the ability to drop the ball 10-foot line.
She is their primary hitting option, Jordan. But it seems as though...
I mean, I'm okay with back-and-forth volleyball if it's just consistent great hit after great hit. You see a back 2 ball there going to Grace Legree, finds a hole deep in the court. You know, it's not a 10-foot line bounce, but it certainly is a great swing. And if it's a battle of swing-offs, then I'm all here for it.
Ball just hit the net by Stephanie Lee. We know she likes to play the softer game when it comes to serving, so could not quite get over. But it seems like the momentum is pretty even on both sides. They're both coming in, Tufts wanting to get this set and Hamilton wanting to prevent them. And I think they had really good momentum going throughout the entire last match and just fell short, so I definitely think that they're coming back hungrier than ever.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm here for a swing-off, and I'm here for it if that's what's going to happen. Great swing from Riley Farragher, but you can't undersell the key to making that happen. There was only 1 block up there against her. Why? Because Cora Cunningham froze the middle. She sold that on a perfect pass off of the serve from Janelle Yarwood, but the ball's going to go right back to her. Fakes out the middle, freezes the middle, and that gets 1 block up there for one of your better swingers in Farragher.
For sure. Zoe Gregory in the game now. It's a beautiful execution by Hamilton. Christine Audette cannot dive to the ball in time.
And that's the diversity that you have between 2 hitters in McClintock and Carmen.
Yeah.
McClintock is able to, you know, take a bit off of her swing and play more towards the tip game, pushing that ball deep instead of taking a swing. Another service error coming in here from Hannah Sillo. I don't fully understand this one from Hamilton. They have 2 people who they keep bringing in to serve, in Sillo and Corrigan. I see why you leave Corrigan in there. She has, you know, great defensive capabilities. She's been making great plays. She's staying in there playing the back row. But both of them have, it's not great service aces to service error ratios. In fact, in the case of Sillo, it's actually negative, where she has more service errors than she does aces. And I feel like you can't justify putting that in the game. It's a very, very, statistically, it's just not in your favor. The fact that they're up 5-4 here just shows to what great level the offense is playing right now.
Picking up that slack. Tip of the net and dug out by Stephanie Lee. So Christine Audette had a beautiful finish, open right corner.
Yeah, and you see she has tape on her hand. Yesterday she dove, tried to make a pancake play on the ball, didn't get it, hurt her hand a bit. Immediately wraps it up, comes back in, and she has been swinging as if nothing is bothering her at all. I mean, that was just a beautiful swing.
Her dedication to the team, man.
Middle tempo just not there from the Jumbos. It's just not working out well right now. Maybe you need to start going back to those outside hitters, run the offense better, much like Hamilton is exhibiting right now. They are putting okay swings from the middle, and when that's not working, they're going right back to those outside hitters who are putting on great swings. As I say that, they decide the best way to fix it is just do it again. Quick tempo ball, Grace Legree, 31, finds open court like it's nothing.
Beautiful execution. She got up there and center court. Wide open shot. Maddie Yu back in the game. And that falls short from Kate Carmen. Try to go for the spike over the net. Tipped on their side.
Yeah, back and forth game here, 7-6. Each team trading points, no one playing exceptionally better than the other. It's just which team is capable of minimizing their errors and playing a slightly better game. That's going to be the key to set number 2, it seems.
Seems as though Tufts is bringing this momentum into fruition. Tufts up by 2, 8-6. Beautiful save by Maddie Yu. And a beautiful teamwork block by Riley Farragher and Grace Legree.
Yeah, they're closing the block, but closing doesn't mean anything if your hands aren't facing the right direction.
Indeed.
And Hamilton's using that to their advantage. Farragher's hands are not turned towards the court, not keeping the ball in, and she's just getting tooled, keeping this game tight. Ooh, almost great defensive save there from Legree. Hamilton's game plan here seems to be picking off the defensive specialist, Nachmanoff.
She is one that keeps getting subbed in for, so find their weakness if there is one and aim for it.
That was Patty Serta coming in to serve. So keeping with the game plan here of back and forth, subbing in someone to come in and serve and just not producing anything from the service line. If you're being brought in to serve, you need to be doing better than one ace, one service error. That's still net nothing for your team. Ooh, ref taking a hard hit there, but he looks okay. Off of the shanked pass from Cece Nuri. Going to force a Hamilton timeout. Try and freeze the momentum here as the Jumbos hitters look like they're coming alive.
You can see the excitement in their faces. Timeout is called.
Yeah, it seems like things are starting to go back in their favor. They're taking better swings. They're getting better looks. And the passing, while it hasn't been there to a great extent, it is still there. You do still have balls being put back up off of hard hits and hard serves, which enables you to make an okay set. And you'll take an okay set and put it in the hands of a great hitter like Janelle Yarwood, like Christine Audette, as they've showcased today. You'll take that. Meanwhile, if you're Hamilton, the passing hasn't been there. They're not making great plays other than off of serve receive. Off of hits, they're not getting there. They're not putting the ball up in a playable position where you can run a good offense or even run a quick tempo offense if you want to be, to the highest degree of what you can do. They've really only been going off of serve receive. We're at 10-8, and a lot of points have also come from serves not getting over the net or going deep. Neither team playing exceptionally well. Jumbo's playing a little bit better, but I still think this is anyone's set. I still think it's anyone's game, despite the fact that the Jumbos won the first one. Neither team's playing significantly better than the other. It's just a matter of, can something click? Can you find that one error as a team that you can minimize, whether it be take something off of the serves, make them less aggressive so that the ball goes over or that the ball stays in? Or is it something as simple as just pass better? Just find the ball, anchor, and go. I mean, it's definitely more difficult than I'm making it seem, but I think the game plan here for both teams should just be pick one thing and run with it. Fix one thing at a time.
Don't try to fix it all. When you do that, nothing good comes from it, and in fact, you see that you get even more overwhelmed and anxious, and you start making careless mistakes.
Yeah, another great swing there from Yarwood finding the back line. And this is exactly what I was saying. The best looks that Hamilton is taking offensively is right off of serve receive. The second that they aren't in a serve receive situation where they can easily figure out where the ball is going and make a solid pass, they're struggling. They're not running a great offense. The ball gets back over, and there's nothing you can do about it.
We haven't seen a lot of soft dumps over. However, that one seemed to have been somewhat of a lucky play. Back and forth, and that one just tipped off.
Yeah,
Point Hamilton.
You had some scrappy defense there, keeping the play alive for each team. Ultimately going in favor of Hamilton. The block was there, and Legree tries to get the ball back up, but you can't do a whole lot when you're effectively right underneath the net. You're lucky to get the ball up as is. Service ace coming in for Morelli, putting this game 11-10. Like I said, the momentum is just, it's in the middle. It's either team's game. It's who's playing better at every individual point.
Fell short for Stephanie Lee there. Looked like she was almost stuck for a sec. Could not quite get there in time for the dig.
Speaking of digs, what a dig there by Maddie Yu.
Maddie Yu did it. I make myself laugh.
You make yourself laugh, and Janelle Yarwood makes the ball find the floor consistently. I mean, the past 3 points have all been off of her kills. Whether it's something a little bit shorter like what we just saw or right on the back line, she's producing right now.
She really is. I'd say that she's somewhat responsible for at least 5 or 6 of these points in this match, in this set.
Yeah, that one just went right through the hands of Cora Cunningham.
It did.
I mean,
beautiful execution by Hamilton.
The block was read. They read exactly what was going to happen. Ball going to the outside, and just you got to close hands. I mean, when it's back and forth like this, all you need to do, since it's a win by 2 game, is you need to be up by 2. Or at least consistently up by 1, as absolute monster of a block coming in from Kiara Morley, McLaughlin. I mean, housed. Solo block all the way, carrying that point for Hamilton to tie it at 12.
The momentum that came off that ball.
Well, it was hit harder and then put even harder back down to the ground. And you asked for soft touches. There it is. Yarwood again. She's dependent. I mean, you need consistent. You need a good play. Right now, Janelle Yarwood, that's your answer. Hard swings, soft touches, whatever it is, she's putting in the work. She's finding the holes on the floor. And Jumbos are up by 1.
13-12. The block could not be executed by Tori Golden, and that was a beautiful, beautiful swing by Hamilton. I believe that was number 15, Riley Bergeron.
Yeah, that was Bergeron. When the block is offset like that, because you're running out of the 3 spot on the net, you definitely have a lot more at your disposal.
Cora Cunningham hit the ball too hard, just missed the boundaries of the court.
Yeah, line judge initially calling that one in, then calls it out, creates the net officials to also have that confusion. But Silo back in, she's serving well too. And again, Jumbo's going for this quick tempo play.
I believe that was a net violation there. I think she might have skimmed the net.
On top of that, the point was lost anyway. On your third contact, you're trying to run a hit every time, unless you're so heavily out of system that all you can do is pass the ball over. And it's just not clicking right now. Zoe Gregory, she is a freshman. She's doing her best, but it just hasn't been there for her. She's trying to run these quick tempo 3 balls to the middle, and it's just not working. She tries to run the 31 there. Cunningham was there on time, but the ball was well over her max height that she could have reached. The set wasn't there. So you got to chalk it up to new player, different offense. I think that the Jumbos are running an inverse middle from what they did last time, where Gregory was paired with Legree and Yu was paired with Cunningham.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that one. But regardless, these are errors that you can't be making. If you're down by 2 in a really tight, really close set because the error is the set was the wrong height on a quick tempo play, simple answer. 86, the quick tempo play. It's not working. The ball isn't there. Like, you can keep trying to run it, but if you keep trying to run it and you're failing, you're only putting yourself further in the hole to try and climb out of.
And speaking of holes, Tufts really has to dig themselves out of this one. Seems as though Hamilton has gained the momentum for this set, and we could see a pattern from that from last game. Hamilton had, I would say, strong momentum throughout the game. It was just a matter of taking that timeout that Tufts did at the end of last set to really change the dynamic of how they got up on top. And it seems as though the rules have switched and the dynamic is going in their favor.
Yeah,
but I speak too soon because Tufts just gained a point.
Well, I have been saying, I've highlighted this, all of the serving specialists being put in by Hamilton are also consistent serving error word. That means that they commit a lot of serving errors. I mean,
I think that's the downfall.
Yeah, it's just not working out well for them. In that case, you know, it wasn't the 1-in-1, 1 ace, 1 error that had been happening. You did get 2 points if you're Hamilton and then immediately lost one out of the timeout, which is why it's only a tied game instead of the Jumbos being up by 1. But this is seemingly a carbon copy of set 1, where back and forth until both teams hit 10, then it's Hamilton favored, and then just out of nowhere, around the 15 to 18 point mark, they just start to come apart. You know, whether it's overconfidence or just small mistakes, the Jumbos then claw their way back in. They were down 2. Now they're up by 1. 3-point swing. Like, it's just very back and forth.
And I really don't know how that point, I really don't know how that ball went over. It looked like she barely got up for that, and it perfectly sunk to the ground of Tufts' side by, I believe that was Riley Bergeron. She's really coming out on top for Hamilton. Kind of a key necessity, I would say.
Yeah, and she's taking a lot of different swing looks, too, which is working so well for her team.
Seen Audette with a good spike. Could not finish.
Yeah, and that's one of those different looks I was talking about from Bergeron. You know, we saw hard swing. It was dug up. Roll shot. Found a hole, putting the game tied at 16, and right now she tried to go for just a tip. Just get the ball over, miss the block, have it fall right behind the blocker. Not able to execute perfectly there. Big swing, blocked. So there's your answer. Feast. You cannot swing hard against the Jumbos block.
That was
against
an
the Jumbos
absolute
defense. It's
powerhouse. Absolute powerhouse of a block.
And
even knocked the libero down.
It forces a timeout. Like, when you have 2 great swingers coming out here today if you're Hamilton, in Bergeron and in Carmen. Carmen off the court right now, not in the front row. Bergeron's your go-to. And if she can't take a full-fledged swing because it's either going right to the libero in Stephanie Lee and it's getting dug up, or it's getting housed by Tori Golden, then you're left with very little options at that point, especially when the passes aren't there. This is what's causing the momentum swing, is the passes went from being workable, good, workable, like able to put the ball to either the outside, the right side, and if you get a good pass, running the middle, to the passes are behind the 10-foot line. And when you're that far away, your only real option if you're a setter is to push the ball to the outside. It's really hard to set behind you to the right side when you're behind the 10-foot line. Your other option is to run to the back row, but because they're playing with a defensive specialist coming in the back row for their other outside hitter, you don't have a back row hitting option. Your only option there is to push the ball to the outside. And if you can't execute well off of that, if you're in the air as the outside hitter and you're not seeing the block in front of you, it's just going to roll all the way in Tufts' favor.
And it seems to be doing so. I wonder, don't quote me on this, but I feel like Coach Capone for the Hamilton Continentals, as I get their terminology right, is really been executing the timeout calls. I think that is one of her secret specialties in slowing the momentum of Tufts Jumbo. So let's see if it worked.
I mean, you are in a great rotation if you're Hamilton to try and get back into this game. There's no libero, no Stephanie Lee on the court.
But it's only down by 2. Or down by 3 now.
It's 3 now because the offense just isn't running at pace. They tried to run a combo play there where you have both the middle and the right side hitter attacking from the same spot, and neither player knew which ball that was supposed to be.
A beautiful dig by number 7, Corrigan.
Yeah, Corrigan kept that ball up, made it so that there was an executable swing to the outside. And what happened on the full hard attack from the outside? Roofed. Grace Legree well over the net. The penetration was there, and the ball went straight down. If you're Hamilton, you need your hitters to be taking better looks. You need to see the block better. You need to see the court better when you're up and you're swinging.
That execution of a block is not enough to keep Tori Golden down. Man, she is looking like gold today.
Yeah, I mean, just take a look at what the Jumbos are doing offensively versus what Hamilton is doing offensively. The Jumbos are up in the air. Their eyes are first looking at the block. Is there a hole? If there's a hole in the block, as Audette, great play, very smart play from her there. If you see the hole, then you're going to go to the hole. If you see that all hands are there, what just happened? You roll over, you take something off. And it's that kind of look, the ability to see the court as an attacker that is putting Jumbos ahead here. 18-16, no, 22-16. They're playing better.
3 points until match. Oh, and a beautiful finish by Grace Legree.
So I have nothing to say about that. The camera speaks for it. No
Pure
block
domination.
on a quick tempo ball to the middle off of a perfect pass right down. Nobody there, no chance you can make a play on that.
I think I would have been scared if I was there.
Swing.
I think I would have been scared. That would have maybe hit me in the nose. Hamilton's still alive.
Yep, there's the change. You go to this
beautiful dive.
Roll shot. And it worked. The ball actually managed to make it over the net. Step in the right direction for Hamilton, but it was dug out perfectly by Gregory, and the Jumbos win the point again. Cora Cunningham has been on a roll from the line. They don't have a libero right now. The defense is supposed to be weaker, but they are just playing better. They are winning.
They have come to win, that is for sure. Not to say Hamilton isn't, but let the game speak for itself. One more point until Tufts takes this set.
I think you mean 0. That's going to go down as an assist for the middle, Cora Cunningham. That's one of the lovely stats you like to see if you are a fan of volleyball. You love it when a middle is in serving for themselves and they're producing. It's just great. It really works well in the favor. And speaking of Cora Cunningham, we managed to catch up with her and hear her thoughts about the team in this season.
Our culture is it's the best. Like, we're just one big family and we're super inclusive and we have a ton of fun together. And that's like carried through just every year, whether you're a freshman or a senior, you're a leader on this team and like you make a difference in our program. And so we really care for one another and we just have the best time.
We try to bring it out all on the court every single day, no matter what. I think we try to build connections with every single person so that we can have that same team aspect that we did last year. We're all super close and we really just all want to win and have that grit and fire and try to carry it to the end of the season.
You know, we take it one practice at a time, one win at a time. Obviously we have high hopes, but you know, it's good to stay in the present moment and, you know, get it done.
Hard work, to support each other regardless of who's on the court and who's not on the court, and just to have fun. It's not meant to be something strenuous. We're like super competitive, but we still want to remember that we're doing it to like have fun and like be better.
And we are back with the Tufts Jumbos facing Hamilton here at Cousins Gym. Tufts has taken the last 2 sets for their liking, and let's see if they can finish this third set in their favor as well.
Yeah, I have the stat sheet out in front of me as we see the quick tempo ball to Grace Legree did not go cold during the between set timeout. Sorry, I have the hiccups. As I was saying, I'm looking at the stats, and I noticed that between set 1, set 2, the total attempts on hits nearly doubled for both teams. But the key thing that I think is coming in here, if you're looking at Hamilton, you're looking at Bergeron. She had 18 total attempts, 6 kills, 5 errors. That's a hitting percentage under 0.1. That's bad, especially from one of your better hitters. You want that number to be higher. As another point coming in for the Jumbos off the block, you need that to be better. Same deal coming in from Kate Carmen. 21 attempts, 6 kills, 2 errors. That's a 190 clip. These need to be better. You need to improve. You need to maybe not take these hard swings when it's not there. And there it is. There's the tip. There's the kill. Exactly as I'm saying. Sometimes softer volleyball is better volleyball.
Proper execution, I would say. I think that Tufts is definitely showing their abilities with their hard ball, but I definitely think that the way to keep the teams engaged and active and on their toes is to make sure that you do some diversity with your hits, just as Hamilton has executed. And that ball was just wide for Tufts, so point Hamilton even at 2.
Yeah, Yarwood just did not get on top of the ball. She kind of hit it to the side and had side spin instead of top spin. If that has top spin, that hits the tee where the 10-foot line meets the edge. As shanked pass there, nothing you can do. If you are the Jumbos, I mean, an attempt was made, but that was well beyond the bench, and at that point, it's ineligible. You can't cross past that bench as a player. All you can do is kind of just go to make it.
And that ball tipped right off of Christine Audette's arms. It seemed like it just went wide, did not center it into her body, and that went way, way left. Off the court.
I think that's going to be the point of attack, exactly as expected. Corrigan putting the ball right back. Sorry, the line judge called that in. I'm just baffled. One of the line judges called it in, not the one whose opinion matters in this case,
wow.
but she did call it in.
That is absolutely absurd.
Yeah. As Corrigan, you are trying to go on a service run, get the team going early, and finding someone that you can pick off is exactly what you want.
Oh, and that is a beautiful save by Christine Audette. And that swing was a little too hard, but right into the net.
Yeah, she was trying to go for a hard angle shot there. There was a massive hole in the left corner closest to us on Hamilton's side. But part of taking such an aggressive route to the ball and an aggressive swing is that sometimes you just get there too late, or you're too on top of the ball and when you're swinging across your body, and it just goes into the net and runs all the way across.
Subbed in. So number 4 for Hamilton.
And that's just better play right there from Maddie Yu. The ball is, it's that over on 2 move. Hamilton has been trying to execute it in both, roll shots and on the setter dump from Morelli, but just Maddie Yu did it better that time.
Subbed in for Hamilton is libero, number 14, Cece Nori. She's had some pretty good contributions to these 2 matches, however. Number 13 on Hamilton dives and could not quite get to the ball.
So yeah, that was my second favorite offensive play you can run in volleyball. That was called an X, where you have your middle move from the middle of the court over to the 3 spot, and you have your outside hitter move towards the middle. At that point, you either have a quick tempo ball to the middle, or you have a 2 ball to the outside hitter in the middle. Now, with my experience in it, an outside hitter hitting a 2 ball from the middle has the entire court open to them, and most of the time the block is cheating towards the middle anyway. So you're going to get no block from a really powerful hitter. And I don't know, I would have loved to have seen that one, but the ball went to Cunningham, not getting the point there. Now the Jumbos find themselves down 3 as the offense is starting to slump.
Seems as though Hamilton has taken the momentum these past 2 points. A blocking error by Cora Cunningham and Tori Golden to then the net violation by Janelle Garwood.
Scrappy defense does not always work. Kept the play alive, but simple roll shot over coming in from Hamilton, and Lee was cheating in to try and play the ball off of the block. Just creates a massive hole for the ball to find.
Oh, and that is a beautiful diving save by Hamilton, keeping this ball alive. I want to push over the net.
There goes Yarwood, right back to what she's been doing. You take that hard angle shot right off of the blocker's hands if you see them, and it just gets shanked so far out of play that the only people who can try and make a play on that are the people at the officiating booth.
Oh, and that was a beautiful soft game by number 15, Riley Bergeron on Hamilton.
Yeah, she's really taking what I said to heart. Not sure if she heard me, but when I did kind of rip into her. Whenever she was taking hard swings, they were getting blocked. And her 2 attempts so far today, or so far in this set, have just been lighter shots, tips and rolls, and it's working in her favor.
Executed well through the blocking of Hamilton. 2 attempts on some hard spikes and cannot get the ball rolling in their favor.
Jumbo's going to call a timeout here, down 4. I like the call. That last point really sums up to what your body tells you to do and what your mind tells you to do as a middle blocker. Ball's coming near you, your body says, move, pick it up, do what you can. And that's what Cora Cunningham did. She sees the ball coming towards her, and she just tries to get a touch on it and pass it up. But your mind as a middle is supposed to tell you, I should not be touching the ball. I should not be making first contact on a ball. And had that been done, Stephanie Lee was right there. The touch from Cunningham put it well over her head, and nobody else was able to make a play on it. And, you know, you hate to see it, but it's also something that you can kind of take advantage of if you are Hamilton. Put the ball somewhere near the middle on a lighter shot and just see what happens.
I agree.
You can get them to flinch, then it's working out well for you because they'll be stopped, and then it's on one player to try and make a touch on the ball. And if you get them to, like, go for the ball, make a play, then they actually need to be able to execute that well. And as a middle, I mean, we saw it in warm-ups. While everybody else was practicing passing off of hard hits, the middles were standing in the back practicing blocking motions.
Yeah,
they're not trained to pass the ball better. Can they? Yes, but they're not trained to do it. So their head isn't making as many of the same decisions as someone like a libero will. And it all just comes down to instinct.
Quite a few timeouts have been made in this series of sets with Hamilton and Tufts. However, it seemed that the calling of a timeout by the Tufts volleyball coach was a very smart decision because Tori Golden came in with the smack over the net.
Yeah, and I imagine that's what the play was drawn up to look like. Overload the left side with your middle and your outside hitter and leave your right side hitter up against the pin. And there she goes again. That set went right over the net. Not where you want to be if you are an outside hitter. You have no chance at making a play on that, no chance at getting a swing. All you can do is try and joust for the ball. And most outside hitters aren't trained on how to do a joust. So Tori Golden gets the ball, has the entire court open to her, and she just drops it right down.
Responsible for 2 of those points by Tori Golden.
They wanted to run her quick tempo there. I saw the back one in her eyes.
Oh, and that is a beautiful dive. However, it cannot be executed. Slipped out of reach of all the Tufts players and off to the side.
Yeah, yesterday we saw a lot of great defensive plays coming out from both setters in Maddie Yu and Zoe Gregory. Today, not so much, and Hamilton's been exploiting it very well.
I feel like it's smart for their coach to almost split their time with the way that these sets are going.
there
But
you see it again. Hamilton making
yeah.
the serving specialist move. Where does the ball go? Right into the net.
Right into the net.
It's not working out well for them, but I guess if they're your better servers, you still need to try at it. As a coach, you have to wonder at what point do you change it up? At what point do you go to someone further down on the depth chart or let the player being subbed out serve for themselves?
And we see what you were just mentioning before, the serving errors by our fellow Tufts servers, constantly getting switched out, trying to change the pace, the momentum, see which one is doing better, which one can execute in the moment that they need. It seems as though Maddie Yu has subbed in for Zoe Gregory, as to prove my point. Oh, and that is a beautiful almost pass over the net by Maddie Yu.
Yeah, there's the setter dump coming in and working perfectly. You had two monster swings from Audette in the Jumbo's run right there. Both of them dug up very well by Hamilton. But
similar move
you
done by
expect the ball to
Hamilton
go
right
back there, and then it just doesn't work.
As a good attempt by number 13, Melissa Morielli, however, could not finish within the lines.
Yeah, as the front row setter there, she's trying to just go up and flick the ball over, and it was read perfectly by Audette. Lucky that she didn't get a hand on that one because it was bound to go out.
She made it up for that on that one. She made a perfect pass to number 17, Morley McLaughlin, for a bullet into the Tufts side court. Tufts down by 1, 11-12, Hamilton.
And there's Morley McLaughlin again. Starts off with a kill, now's a block. Things are going well for her right now, and Hamilton's up by 2.
I don't think that there has been a consistent switch off of points. I think that once Tufts has momentum for a couple points, you'll see maybe they get 2 or 3, and then it switches sides to Hamilton where they gain their momentum back. Let's see if their coach is about to call it timeout right now.
You know, we talk about it all the time, how the Jumbos have 3 good right side hitting options because they run the 6-2. Their outsides apparently can also hit from the right side. That was just a great hit there from Audette from the opposite side, not where she's supposed to be playing. And she played it excellently well. McLaughlin there playing it better. No block up against her on a quick tempo 1 ball. That's devastating. You never want to let that happen.
She aimed for the line and she got it. She went in with a goal, maybe. I don't want to necessarily speak for her. However, it's quite possible, as I've seen that she has had a consistent pattern of aiming for that line during these past 2.5 sets.
So it seems as though Grace Legree likes to run trick plays more than she does just standard ball to the middle. That right there was a back 1, and defense is frozen because they're reading that ball's going to the outside. It was off, the pass was off the net. It's not expected that the ball goes to the middle there. But when you have Grace Legree and her ability to get up and get to a ball, it just works so much better.
I don't know if you guys just caught that, but that was a beautiful dig by Maddie Yu to get them the point. Pass to Riley Farragher.
And Farragher there with great mentality up at the net. Great swing, and then she sees the ball right after she had just swung. It's looking like it's going to come right back over, and what does she do? She gets there to block. That was very close. Great idea there from McClintock. She was looking for the tip onto the line, but didn't quite realize how close to the antenna she was. Didn't have a lot of room to work with and pushed it out of bounds.
Oh, that was a beautiful hit. However, it's still up for grabs and she executes well. Number 11, Summer McClintock, able to just tap the ball over the net for a point after a series of passes.
And if you're out of system there, as Jumbo's defense, when you're out of system, you know that ball's not going to have a hard swing on it, or at least not a jumping swing. It's gonna, if it's hard, it's from the ground, then it's going cross court. So I feel like if you are Stephanie Lee there, you can cheat more up towards the line and cover that roll shot and tip. And if you're Christine Audette in the back, you cheat over to the right side and cover the line. Neither of which happened there, and now Hamilton finds themselves right back ahead in this game. And we're nearing that point, that 15 to 18 point threshold where they started slumping last, and the Jumbos came back and took 2 sets.
Yeah, and that seemed to be a blocking error right there by Cora Cunningham. slipped right between her fingers and onto the ground for a point for Hamilton. And similar there, blocking error, tips off.
No, that was just a late move over there. She saw that the ball was coming out to the outside. She made her way over there, but she couldn't quite get a read on what pace the swing was going to be at. Jumps a little late, catches the top of her fingers, and Janelle Yarwood tried to save it. Maybe Stephanie Lee had a better angle on it. Regardless, no one's able to make a play, and now Hamilton's up by 2. You're taking the timeout here. You're trying to make Hamilton think a lot about what they've been doing, because you've seen this is literally exactly how it went in the last set. Not quite the same score, but the Jumbos were down by 2 in a middle to late station of the set. They take a timeout. They came out of it. They ran a play where the right side hitter took a monster swing. No one was up there to block, and then they just coasted the rest of the way through. It's Hamilton getting overconfident, going into their timeouts, feeling confident, feeling like they can take away this set, and then coming out and just not being able to execute. They're making rushed plays. The passes aren't there. The serves are going well out or well into the net. So the Jumbos are trying to reset here, draw up a play that gets you the point. You have Riley Farragher on the right side. She's swinging well today. I imagine the ball's going in that direction. And you have the potential, every potential, to ice the server from Hamilton.
Totally agree there, Jordan. It's all about grounding, and that goes to just feeling the comfort levels and feeling like you're stable on the ground, knowing and anticipating where your teammates are going to place themselves so that you don't make errors and that you guys all have a place and position on the court. And it seems as though Hamilton's doing a really good job of communicating throughout the court, moving and not bumping into each other. I've noticed a few of those lags on the Tufts Jumbo side. That was a beautiful dig by Stephanie Lee. It's a back and forth game. Or point, I should say. Oh, and Riley succeeds with the tip over the net.
I did say that the point would end up coming down to her making a great play, and that's exactly what she did. The block was in her face. She made a roll shot just right over it and just curves it so that it goes right in bounds. However, two things cannot be undersold in that play. Cora Cunningham saved the point by reaching behind her and keeping it up in the air so that, Maddie, you could get the ball to Riley Farragher. But you also have what was probably the design play, is to run the back row hitter. And you had Audette swing twice from the back row off of 2, okay passes. And her ability to be in there as a 4th option for hitting, certainly working well for the Jumbos.
And subbed out was Riley Farragher for Tori Golden and Maddie Lee for Zoe Gregory.
And the connection in the middle between Gregory and whoever it is in the middle, whether it be Cunningham, who is now going to be taking a step out. We're going to see Brittany Bennett step in here, getting her first look in this Jumbos lineup.
Love Brittany Bennett. Such a sweet lady.
We'll see if she can shake up the offense. Maybe have some better looks from the middle. But why do that when there is basically no block up at Tori Golden? I mean, free swing, free points, and the Jumbos down by 1.
Not Tori Golden.
Oh, is that not?
That was Janelle Yarwood.
Yeah, I was off of serve receive. She would be back in that spot. Good catch.
You've caught me a few times. Gotta look out.
Is that a back row C-ball? That's so odd.
I wish I knew exactly what that term meant. However,
it's okay. It's not something that you see every day, and it was executed rather well. Not as well as the Christine Audette line shot that we just saw. Again,
hit the line. Beautiful.
I don't understand how you can't put up a block on the line against the Jumbos hitters who have consistently shown that is what they want to do.
I mean, if you're doing your homework correctly, you know that they're aiming for that line, and they got some power behind their swings. So definitely something that I would try to target if I was playing against them, which would never really happen because I don't play volleyball. However, if I was, that would be something that I would be trying to target.
Okay, so I really feel the need to talk about what just happened there.
Yes,
when you run
please.
a 5-1, you have a problem where your setter's in the front row. Usually what happens is when your setter's in the back row, they can have the ability to push up a hitter in the front row, and you have one of your pin hitters come back to pass. However, when your setter is in the front row, that's not an option. She can't be pushed up. And you need to hope that your back line is good enough that they can make consistent passes. Faith was not there, I suppose, in Deirdre Corrigan, so they pull a pin hitter who is in the front row back anyway, and they hide Corrigan in the back. So they set up 3 without being out of rotation and other rules along said line. Her heels are on the back line. Any ball that looks like it's coming to her, she needs to bail out and move.
She did not do that in time.
No.
Hit her leg,
she
actually.
did not. It went right into her. And it's not like there's anyone standing in front of her blocking her side of the ball. She had a clear lane, sees the ball coming towards her, and she just didn't move. And it hit her and went down. That ball would have gone out. Anything that is above your ankles when you're standing on the back line is going out. Don't move. Then you're just costing your team points there.
Seems like they need to do a little bit more practicing on that, if you ask me. And Tufts up by 2, 5 points until set. 20-18 Tufts. And I spoke too soon. 20-19.
Yeah, they ran
Hamilton.
They ran the back row C ball again. I mean, again, when you have a 5-1, usually your setter is standing in that one spot defensively. But when your setter's in the front row, now you have a hitter who's back there, your right side hitter. And when you have McClintock back there, now she's another hitting option. You have 4 people, 2 being in the back row that you can use. And that's exactly what they did there.
Cross-court action. I like the idea of Zoe Gregory passing that to... But cannot be executed. Even 20-20.
One of the basic rules of passing in volleyball is if the ball is behind you, don't go for it, no matter who you are. If you're one of the people in either the 1 or the 5 spot on the court, then if the ball is behind you, you have someone in the 6 who can cover you. If you're on the 6, then the only thing behind you is the back line. So you never like to see it when someone goes behind them to try and make a play, make a pass when there's really no need to do it.
And that was a back and forth. It seemed as though Christine Audette thought that ball was going to just be slightly tapped over the net. However, it seems as though maybe her hand is bothering her. I saw her shaking it after that one.
And that's either bothering her or she's shaking off the rust, because that was not a great look on her tip. However, the right sides are running hot right now. Tori Golden, Riley Farragher, both of them playing exceptionally well, taking great swings, seeing the block and using the block to their advantage. You do have a different look here. They're going to sub Brittany Bennett out. Guess they don't want her to necessarily serve for herself. So in comes Megan Harrison. She's a defensive specialist. So now your defense is also upgraded. You don't necessarily have your libero in, but you do have someone who's damn near close to 1.
And it seems as though that worked last time, but not this time. I remember when Tufts Jumbos got big momentum, I think it was last set, without having their libero in. Do you remember that, Jordan?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the last time that happened was Cora Cunningham's massive run.
Yes, she was on fire with her serves.
Yeah, but she's not in right now. She was swamping at the net, and they subbed her out for Brittany Bennett. And with that, you need to take a different look defensively and from the service line. The option there was Harrison, and it didn't work necessarily well. But what does is when you run a 2-ball in the middle to an outside hitter. It is my favorite play in the game. There's multiple ways to run it, and if you have a good outside hitter, the entire court is open to them.
I agree. Despite that process working for the Jumbos, I think there is something to be said about how well it works to switch it up and give new faces a chance to the court, especially when you're up by 2 sets and you could, God forbid, afford to lose this set by trying to mix it up and see, okay, maybe these people who haven't gotten a chance to showcase could also bring something new to the table and not be as anticipated in that sense.
Speaking of tables,
that hit the table. I did see
No, it didn't hit the table. It went behind the table. And who else would you want to make a catch at the table than softball catcher Carrie Ann Slayton?
Oh, Carrie Ann. I can speak very, very well of Carrie Ann. She is actually on my softball team with me. Her and Lexi Grine are sitting, keeping score. What lovely ladies. And it seems as though Hamilton is really taking this momentum. They are up by 2. 1 more point until they win this match. If they win this match, will Tufts be able to hold on and prove that they can withstand and hold against these offensive tactics?
If you're Tufts, your mentality here is 2 before 1. You need 2 points before Hamilton gets 1. Play it to extra points and go from there. 1 point at a time needs to be the mentality, and that's exactly what they're running with here. Audette took a lot off of that swing between the last point and 2 points beforehand, she had a really powerful swing, and then right there taking it off of it, just trying to find a block, use it as a tool in order to get your team the point. Exactly what happens, and now she is who Coach Thompson believes is their best server. That's why she's been starting with the ball whenever they have serve, and now she's back at the line. Good serve here ties the game at 24. You're going into extra points, and suddenly you're right back into it's anyone's set. Lose the point here, 25-23, that's 2 points, that's 25. You go to a new set and the clock resets 0-0. Either way, you're looking at a game that's 0-0, but is it a 0-0 that puts your team with chances of winning, or is it 0-0 and now you got to work just as hard as you have for the past 47 points?
It's definitely
in order
tiring.
To come back
it's
into
definitely
it.
tiring and not ideal for the Tufts Jumbos, but if it turns out to be that way, so be it. So be it.
Yeah, and this is one of the better rotations for the Jumbos, too. You have 3 of your better hitters up at the line right now, capabilities to swing, and 3 of your better blockers as well.
I think that is exactly Coach Thompson's mentality here.
Ball's going to the outside. Oh, what a
beautiful save by Stephanie Lee. Hamilton really wants this. I can see it. I can see it.
And the outsides are running hot, and that's where they're putting the ball. Oh, they're going to say there was a touch on that block.
I don't know about that. Beautiful set by Maddie Yu.
Well, you know, as they say, ball don't lie. Jumbos win the point. Therefore, there must have been a touch on that block. I thought that there might have been. Wasn't 100% sold on it, but you do have an official whose head is literally right on the line.
Yeah, so
they
she
can
would be
see
able
the
to
top of the
detect
tape.
it.
Exactly. And, you know, it works out well for the Jumbos, and they played their brand of volleyball. They ran with what they wanted to run with. That ball, as you heard from the bench, was definitely going out, but we're going to play on regardless.
24-24. Who will finish with the win?
Well, if you're going to not block Riley Farragher, the Jumbos are going to win. So, I mean, what are you going to do there? She's swinging exceptionally well. She has so much power behind her hit, and now the Jumbos are in a prime position to go up and win this game at 26-24. Audette serving exceptionally well. A bad pass there is going to work in your favor, and now they have a free ball. Run quick tempo. Legree's been swinging well, but Yarwood from the middle is just even better. The 2-ball on the X play seems to be the way that the Jumbos want to go with this, how they want to run, and nothing more that can be said here. I mean, the Jumbos take it 26-24. They win in straight sets, and it was rocky. It was back and forth a lot more than it probably should have been. But when they were on point, they were on point. When the hitters were performing, when you had Yarwood in the front, everything working well and working in your favor. Nothing more to be said there. With that win, the Jumbos will go up to 8-3 and 3-1 in conference play, winning 2 conference games in as many days. Hamilton going to fall to 6-5 and 1-3 in conference play as well. Not a great look for them in terms of how things will shake up in the NESCAC. But altogether, I think that they can look at this game and say that they played well. They had a better game than they've had in the past. Things are working out well in their favor. And this is a building block. You can stay here and look to go forward, sit back, reflect, take away some good points here. Your offense was shaking things up. You know, they were taking hard swings when they had the availability to, and when they didn't, they were taking the roll shots. They figured it out. We're going to be right back here at JumboCast with a post-game interview with Janelle Yarwood. See you soon.
At Team Impact, we pair kids who have been sidelined by serious illness and disability with college teams from across the country.
What's up, big man? You good?
It's more than a single-day meet and greet or photo opportunity. Our program places kids on a multi-year journey, becoming true members of a collegiate athletics team.
We are Penn State.
From signing day to game day.
I can't describe it. It feels amazing.
Team Impact. All in, all together.
Hello, I am Bella Jimenez here with Janelle Yarwood discussing her amazing performance today. I'm obviously with JumboCast, so this is a little post-game interview, but I just thought I would do some introductions and say hello to Janelle. Wave.
Okay.
So I have 3 questions for you, Janelle. So your hitting was impeccable, your defense was beautiful. So how do you take your performance into the rest of the season?
We definitely have the mentality that each game, the ball doesn't remember any points, so we have to work hard in practice to go into next weekend. So it always feels good to get a good win, but we still have a lot of work to do. So we'll be grinding it out this week. We have some hard games next weekend. So yeah.
I'm super looking forward to commentating. Hopefully.
Good.
And the second question for you. So there was a lot of back and forth, keeping the game alive and constantly on your toes. But obviously you guys stayed in and pulled out with what we would call a sweep in softball, I think is what we call a sweep here in volleyball. What do you think you can do to improve going into your future games?
Yeah, so I wasn't able to go to our Hamilton game last year, so I haven't seen them since 2019, so they're a really gritty team. So I think one thing we always focus on is just ball control and controlling the things that we can control, and that makes everything easier for us because when we are in system and have a great pass and a great set, it's so easy for us hitters to do what we do. So I think just focusing on the little things.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I can say the same when it goes for softball. I control the controllables is what my coach would always say, and you don't worry about the other things, it'll just happen.
Right.
And lastly, so this is your second conference win in the past 2 days.
Yeah.
One, how does that make you feel, and how do you think you can take this momentum going forward into winning possibly the NESCAC this year?
Yeah, no, it's great. NESCAC is great competition always, so getting these wins under our belt definitely builds up a lot of confidence. So we'll probably see a lot of these teams again in playoffs, so I think it's working hard to improve our game so we're an even better, unrecognizable team by the time we see them again.
Yeah, all about taking those little efforts into making them a reality, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, say goodbye to Janelle and me, but it was awesome speaking with all you guys today. Hopefully I did a decent job, and give Janelle a big shout out. She did amazing today, and all of Tufts volleyball.
We'll see you guys on Friday.
Yeah. Bye.
So hypnotic, magical.